They had Baby Bay on the team, and they just wanted to run Baby Bay Duelist and Dicey like Killjoy, and he wasn't really good on Killjoy, so
Okay, the
I see.
oh
stream should
Wait, I
yeah,
see
be.
Cedar
Dicey
Hills
wasn't
right
really
now
good.
though.
Okay, the stream should be
Oh,
live.
Oh,
It
Dicey.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, Dicey, that's what I said.
Hmm.
That because NA tier 2 in 2023 is the only tier 2 I actually watch. Yeah.
Alright,
Oh, we're live. Okay.
let's go, we're live, Okay, hello
Live.
everyone.
Okay.
Welcome to VLR, you listening. Today we'll be talking about Pacific and Americas playoffs. It's gotten very interesting so far. Alright, let's go. We have Foul, Math Material, and Hades Day. Alright, so let's get straight into it. So first off, there was the first match, right, between MIBR and 100 Thieves that happened.
Oh yes.
Yes. Straight off to
I think the main takeaway from this is MIBR. They're a good team. The MIBR, they're really good. They're probably going to Toronto. And I was hearing after this game, I was hearing some talk of 100 Thieves being shit, and they're gonna lose that NRG. And I'm like, guys, like, just because they lost horribly doesn't mean they're like a shit team. It just means MIBR are really good, you know. This game was a masterclass, I think, by MIBR. And what can I say? NRG shouldn't have dropped Verno. He's that good.
I think Icebox is just fast passes now. Like he could not be. He's just doing his own thing there, and they can't put a stop to it. Split. I actually like the split from 100 Thieves a lot. But MIBF was so good with keeping pace with 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves put the tempo up, and MIBF were quick to follow through. They weren't caught off guard by the fast pace. It looked really good from MIBF. Like they have depth. Like they don't get caught off guard by a fast pace or even a slow round. So
I'm
that's
gonna
really good to
actually
see.
I'm gonna actually flip that around. I do not like the split from 100 Thieves. They've been playing the same comp, doing the same thing that they've been doing basically all of 2025. I think that they could actually like mirror MIBR's comp pretty perfectly. Throw cryo onto Jet and then just they could probably farm with that. I do think that that is a possibility.
Yeah,
Alright, so then
good to
I'll talk
Arsenal.
about my take.
Yeah, no.
I think
Yeah.
I think first off, huge props to MIBR, but for 100 Thieves, I actually also did not like the split that much. I think that it's a little bit, I don't know, I just think that their Sage ideas are a bit limited and it's a bit one and done, especially the fact that they keep running. It doesn't give me too much hope for this map. And I feel like they're always with their attack. I feel like it's always a little bit questionable on this side on the split. Um, you have a lot of these rounds where you're sending Arsenal or you're sending Cryo in, right? And you're having them to really have to do a lot for you in order to bring impact to a round and to save you from these fights. Because I feel like, I mean, look at this. Arsenal is +4 on first duels, right? If you go to the attack, he's 3-1. And he's 3-1, but your attack results are quite middling at best. And I just think you should be doing much better with this double initiator, right? That you're running. Because I think, and also I think that overall, 100 Thieves, their ideas are very limited on this map. And if we go to Icebox, I mean, it was just complete destruction on one side. And I think that MIBR played insane. Icebox was crazy good. And for the 100 Thieves side, you didn't really have Cryo show up as usual. Before, if you looked at Cryo's games, like let's take, probably not a game where he lost, but even here he's +2 against 2G, right? He's going insane, plus 24, stuff like that, right? He's playing to an incredible level. And now you pair them 100 Thieves against like a team that is slightly better. And or not slightly better, but quite better, right? And then you'll see that his performance dips quite a bit, going 0-4 in first deaths. So I think it's a bit worrying signs for 100 Thieves if they want to make like Toronto or something like that. But at least they're staying alive at least right now, and MIBL look really good and prime to go to Toronto.
I do also want to mention for Icebox specifically, if we look at the 100 Thieves comp, it's the comp that they've been running in 2024. So actually there has been no change whatsoever in like even towards concern towards the current Tejo meta, Tejo Euro meta. So yeah, I genuinely do not like it. I think they should switch things up, preferably right now if they want to make Toronto, but if they're playing for split 2, playing for champs, this is definitely something that they do want to look into.
Yeah,
Think
I
about
mean,
Xbox this. Go on.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say I don't know. I just don't like how 100 Thieves are using like their comps and players because like you'd expect from Boostio and Zix after like their 23 like magnificent run, or like at least at champs, they definitely had like some of the best comps for all their players, and they were bringing out the most out of every player. And I feel like as the years go on, you can kind of see how much of that was Potter versus how much of that was Boostio and Zix. Like, I feel like a lot of their comps and stuff could be way better. They just changed around some of the agents. Like for some reason, it feels to me like they have, because the only reason I could see this like being the case, like why they would stick with these comps that are clearly worse to other comps that they could run with like the same like with like they fit into the players' agent pools, like some even better, right? The only reason I could see that is because they genuinely like they don't have the scrim time. Like maybe that's a thing, right? Like where they say like, okay, we're solid on these two maps, like good enough. Let's focus on different maps. But even that to me that doesn't make that much sense because like they're picking Split and Icebox, and those are like some of their best maps, right?
Yeah.
Like their other good map is Fracture, right, which they picked today against. Did they pick that? No, they picked Icebox today.
No, they
But like
did
yeah,
pick-
they did they pick Fracture? I might.
Yeah, they
I
picked
might
Fracture
be.
first map. Or Energy picked Fracture today.
Yeah, no, 100 Thieves picked Fracture. Apparently, it says on VLR, 100 Thieves picked Fracture. Yeah, no, so they play Fracture as well. Like, and their Fracture, their Fracture comp, like it fits their like all their players like well, you know, like, and this is like them trying to adapt the meta. But like,
MIBR
you look
did
at like
first
all their other
ban.
maps.
They did first ban Fractured. Just to put it out
You know,
there.
but what I'm saying is like they have Fracture as a good map, and then they have Haven, which is like a decent map for them, and then their other two maps are like Split and Icebox, which to me it looks like they haven't worked at all on this year. At least Icebox. Like Split, they added the Tejo, but like, you know,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
But so the one thing I want to mention about Icebox specifically is we're seeing a lot of hardware. I don't think we mentioned this before, but hardware has he almost has a 50% pick rate for some reason. And most America's teams just really like this agent. So I just wanted to put it out there. I don't know why. I think you'd be better off with a KO or a Gecko, but you'll have to drag up.
Wait, 100 Days don't play at Harbor, right?
No, but like, let me send you the.
Right, scroll VLR, what?
What?
You can,
I'm sorry, I'm confused because you're talking about Harbor, and 100 Thieves don't play Harbor. You know, they play Gecko.
oh no, I'm
You're
talking
talking about
about
MIBR.
MIBR.
Oh, MIBR. Yeah. Sorry. You know, I mean, like Harbor's, I think on Icebox at least is pretty popular still. And I mean, at least if you look at EMEA, AC, they're on Harbor like every map. Um, like I still think he gets value in the Harbor Viper, but I would say less so. But I don't know. Um, what were you saying about Harbor map?
Nothing. I just think he has unusually high pick rate. And
I mean, yeah, I
think
mean,
most America's
does he
teams
get played on
don't
any
play
other
with
map
him.
except for? Does he get played on any other map except for Icebox? I don't think so, right?
No. He used to get played on Breeze when he was in the map, but that's not.
Well, yeah, no, that but like in this map pool, um, Let's see, Harbor. Let me look at the stats. He doesn't get picked on Lotus. Doesn't get picked on Fracture. He doesn't get picked on Pearl. Doesn't get picked on Haven. On a Split. On Ascent. And then yeah, just on Icebox. Run him. G2 run him. NRG run him. MIBR run him. And Cloud9 run him.
Alright,
Alright, next map.
let's just move on then to
Yep.
Sentinels C9.
What a banger! What a banger!
This was a
The same people in this call were telling me that C9 were not going to choke, and well, I want to hear an apology from all of you right now. You all told me to my face. I want.
Hey.
Oh, I predicted same.
I was not here for this one.
Well, from some of you that were here, I want an apology for telling me that C9 were not going to choke when they're the biggest chokers of all time. That doesn't matter the roster. Like, if anything, I thought this roster would be shit in like the group stage, because they have a much worse roster, in my opinion, that they did in 23 and in 24. But somehow, Zeppa had multiple life games to bring them to be good, and then start choking again.
Alright, so here's my apology, okay? I apologize that C9 are only group merchants, that Zeppa does not put up a live game like he promised someone else here. I want to mention,
Yep.
I am sorry for the fact that Oxy cannot frag against big teams in important moments. I want to mention that this team is absolutely dog shit as soon as they go into playoffs. You know, I'm sorry that
Okay.
I doubted Zekin. Okay, because oh my gosh, this series he was glorious. He was amazing. He was winning rounds that should not be won, and I actually have zero clue what Cloud9 were doing half the time, because they were setting up for good positions. Okay, I was looking at the macro. I was like, oh my gosh, C9 look amazing. They have a clue of what they're doing. And then I see Zekin come up and get 3 and win the round anyways, because it doesn't matter. Macro doesn't matter if Zekin just kills you all. But anyway, that's my apology.
I just want to say though, it's a very sad sight to see Mitch top fragging.
It is
a very sad day. See Mitch going +3 while all his teammates are negative. To have 5 and 4 in first kill, first death. On Sova.
Alright, this game. For both Cloud9 playoff games, here's my explanation / my hypothesis for why they lost. So in their game against G2, before playoffs, that one was extremely close, and the whole entire team was wearing matching jerseys and Crocs, including Imi, by the way.
All teams
However,
have to wear like jerseys. Isn't that like a required thing? They all have to wear the jersey.
However, for both playoff games, the one today and the Sen one, Imi was not wearing the jersey, nor was he wearing matching Crocs with the rest of the team.
And he is gone.
And that's
Get
why
him
they
out of here.
lost.
Get him out of here. Let's sign. Who can we sign? Let's sign Mike's HD when he gets cut from Energy. Come on.
Imi, I'm sorry. If you ever see this, I'm sorry. But this is payback for you calling me a bronze player.
He called you a bronze player? That's crazy.
I am in fact not bronze.
Oh, it's silver. Okay, I'm silver too. It's okay. We'll be silver together.
But yeah.
See, that's why my goat RB would never do that. He's too nice. But yeah, no. This was just a Sen match. I'm like actually surprised for Sen, because one of the big questions coming in for Sen was their map pool, because before this they only had 3 good maps. And they're coming with Ascent, which is a historically shit map for them, especially the Zek and Jet has been shit for them, but it looks good. Zek and Jet.
I do like a lot of their map
KO for
plays.
some reason.
I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, I like their comp too. I think this is the comp. It's a similar comp, but it's a good comp. I think it's like changing up a couple of things. I will say Zekin on the Jet. He's been proving me wrong. I think this is the first time this stage that he's played it, right? Or no, he's played it.
Yep.
He's played
He played it twice actually.
Yeah, but
Look, when else did he play Jet? Am I tripping?
Okay, I just want to say there was that one round where Zekan was
Oh,
solo
versus,
retaking on A. That dash up
yes.
to Jen, the 360 kill onto Mitch, and then
Yeah.
the quick scope onto Zeppa. That was absolutely
It was just
beautiful.
an
No
aura diff,
blades.
man. I will
Yeah.
say though, because Megan's not here, I will bring it up. This is why Ascent is a shit map. Every single time you get defense, if you're the team on defense, you automatically win. There's no chance about it, right? You win the first half 9-3, and then it doesn't even matter how good the other side's defense is because their mental's already crumbled, and you just snowball them. You know? Why Ascent is a shit map. Time and time again, it's always happened. This is why you never pick Ascent.
Yeah. So my take from this is that overall, actually, I think C9 played a very good Ascent. I think that their Ascent on attack, they were always in a winning position. But that's the thing, they were always in a winning position, but they cannot convert. I mean, I was watching these guys. They would get up, they would get into like a 4v5, or they get a crucial piece of map control, and then they would just lose out the gunfights. I mean, it's just I mean, you have some players that can frag, right? You have Oxy, you have Zeppa that are capable of reaching heights where you can really frag out, right? Even like Vic and Ned, we've seen them frag out, but then this game they just weren't present at all, and I think that's really why they lost Ascent. I mean, I was looking at this attack; they could have easily gone on a 7-5, even or maybe even better if they just like won these crucial positions, right? And if you look on Pro, I think the mental boom was on Pro was quite deep until you go onto this pistol round where they start getting the streaks back. I mean, it's just this streak and after a streak, and I just think that the mentality on this team is to put up the question because, you know, you lose or they always lose like a huge amount of rounds before they put up a good performance, and it's just like it's just really, you know, it's a question to bring with this team, right? Because I mean you have quite a bit of young players,
Yeah.
and you also have so it's a little bit unknown. Obviously, I'm at the outside perspective, so I can't know what's going on in the team. But the streaks of round doesn't look too good.
I mean, yeah, I will say though, in the game versus G2, I think it was the they were talking about the second map Haven. I think Amy said like, yeah, we just got to start disrespecting them, you know, and that's why they won Haven. They were just completely disrespecting G2. They were like running in their faces, you know, they were running it down. They won 13-4 against like probably like one of the top teams in the world, right? And here like they weren't doing that. I will say that. Yeah.
I was there to watch the absolute masterclass. I do want to say,
Yeah.
Oxy is an absolute second half merchant. Can we look at both maps? Like at the attack stats and then at the defense stats.
Mm.
So for both maps, as we can see, Oxy goes negative in the first half. And then in the second half, he wakes up and goes positive. Whoa, would you look at that?
Dude, that's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah. I mean, I
I
kind of
mean,
stuck on attack. I mean, it's tough going into this comp with the double senti, but yeah, I mean, you expect better, man. This is your star duelist. He's been playing well.
yeah, like I feel like you can't even excuse like the starting on defense because this is Ascent. You know they're gonna start on defense. So unless you have a good attack, then you never pick this map. You know,
Mm.
like to me, this like the Ascent pick never makes sense to me unless like you have a really good attack. Even then, like it's still like why would you pick this over another map? C9 have a good map pool. They could have picked like Icebox. Or wait, did Sun ban Icebox? Am I tripping? No, they didn't.
No,
Sun didn't even
Icebox
ban
was
Icebox. Third
Icebox
map,
was
but
the
yeah, but
Punisher.
why didn't C9 pick Icebox? And they know Sen has a shit Icebox, and they have a pretty good Icebox, you know? Like, or, I don't know. They could have even played Haven. Like, they just won Haven 13-4 versus G2. Like, the best team in the world. Like, why aren't you picking Haven versus Sen? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, the only logical thing is, like, they think Sen is bad on Ascent, which, like, fair enough. Sen has been historically bad on Ascent, but they haven't played Ascent yet this stage at all. So, like, you can't know that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like it was just lost in the, what's it called, the map pick. Map veto. Anyway, should we move on?
Yes, we should.
the next game.
Go on to 100 Thieves NRG, which was a quick 100 Thieves 2-0. I think this is a win for VCT overall.
Yes, wait. Can you pull up this VLR post, please?
I can't.
I posted this 12 hours ago, so this was like during the EMEA long tech pause, or actually it might have been for the match even. But
The non-existent match.
Wait, what?
yeah, it was before the first map, so.
Mm.
Um.
All right.
So let me read it out to you. Where is the NRG cope coming from? NRG are still shit, and they will get dominated by 100 Thieves. In their last game versus Lev, they won solely on mechanics, with 4 or 5 of their players playing at their peak. This is not replicatable. Mata is inconsistent. Storm is inconsistent. Brock is inconsistent. Ethan is inconsistent. The only way they beat 100 Thieves is if a miracle happens. NRG have no good strats, no good calling, no consistent fraggers, no chance of winning. I'll just say, this played out exactly as expected.
The messiah of our time.
Like, like NRG, man, like, their players are
say
just too
this.
inconsistent. They need more consistency, because, like, you can see when their players wake up, they are good. Like, Psalm, when he wakes up, he is great. Ethan, when he wakes up, he is, like, pretty good. Brock, when he wakes up, is pretty good. Mata, when he wakes up, is pretty good. You know, like, it's just
I'm-
all of their players are so inconsistent. They peak at different times, and, like, most of the time, you're gonna need like 3 or 4 of them to play like pretty well if you want to beat like a decent,
I
good
don't think
team.
it's
You know.
player quality issue because I think it's more of a inability to attack on any map.
No, I know, but like what I'm saying is like also like I'm saying like that is a factor, but I think one of their
It is a
main
factor.
issues is that they just can't shoot back some of the time, right? Like this is like a complaint that was like lodged at FNS, you know, like you can't shoot, and like yeah, that's true, but like also you just look at Fracture, right? Like none of their players are shooting back,
I
and
just
then
want to
if you look at
highlight their
Haven,
attack half. How the attack half went was, let's say NRG took C. They took C main.
Yep.
The FNS is, he's placed a cameraman, he's doing his thing. They, make some space C and they slowly walk back in. And what Asuna is doing is he sees that, they've retreated. So he instantly, dashes in, sees that the space has been cleared, gives the call, the team starts A. They're welcomed by, a stack. And thing is, Asuna always does this, where he sees free space, he takes it. And they should have inserted someone, to stop that, or they should have been more aware about it. It was just like they had no idea how 100 Thieves play the map, and consistently they were outplaying them on defense. Like Asuna just disrespected the U2, took space, gave them the call. Oh, you gotta go here, you gotta go there, and they had few good runs where they found an empty B side like twice. But apart from that, their attack half is it's like still calling it 2022 when people don't people used to respect U2 back in the day. They when you took a space, they used to assume someone's probably there. They didn't the amount of disrespect 100 Thieves showed NRG by just blatantly ignoring their map control and pushing out. I think that's the
yeah.
reason NRG lost. And the thing is, 100 Thieves has shown this before. Like it's
Yeah,
one of
100
the
Thieves are
defining
very
characteristics
good at
of the player.
re-clearing spaces. Yeah,
Yeah.
100 Thieves are like, it's
That's
one of
like-
their main things that they're very good at re-clearing spaces.
I kind of blame the coach for this loss. Like NRG should have won Haven if they and a couple of rounds they couldn't close out. And Icebox, we saw how bad 100 Thieves were on Icebox. NRG probably could have won that.
I mean, 100
Couldn't
Thieves
have gone
are
the other way.
they're good on Icebox, or like they were pretty good, but like it was just I think it was just MIBR they were going against, right? Like 100 Thieves in the past, they were like decent
I mean,
on
they didn't have
Icebox, I
enough.
think.
I mean, if you've done a bit of audit, you can see what works against 100 Thieves now. I think NRG stood up with a good chance on Icebox. No,
Yeah, but
I
also I
digress.
don't blame the Haven pick as much because on their defense they actually looked well drilled, right? Like they
They
go
look
up.
really good.
Yeah, they
Uh,
look good. They go up 8-4, right? But like I think this could have even been like more because I think there are a lot of like hero plays, like especially from Xander, and we'll
get
talk
one
about Xander.
pistol, like let's say NRG win the attack pistol, they win the map.
Yeah, like I don't know, like 100 Thieves like run it back, right? It's like 13-11. It's very close. We could have seen a map 3 potentially, right?
Yeah.
But I just like they've won 7 attack rounds in this entire series, and like that's just unacceptable, you know. Like
And I think they
especially on a
won
map
3
like
attack maps on Haven. Like 3 rounds they won on Haven. on
3 and then 4 on Fracture, and these maps are known for attack being the strong side. Like when you think Fracture, you think of like hard attack sided map. When you think Haven, there are 3 bomb sites. This is a hard attack sided map, especially with FNS, who's like one of the best IGLs in the past historically. The best, like one of the best IGLs on getting your team onto site.
Also,
Right, like in the past, like he's struggled with the post plant a bit, right? But like he's always been able to get his team onto the site,
yeah.
and this is just not happening.
And also, you want to bring up the fact that the meta right now is really favoring attack with this Tejo breach meta, right? And
Yeah.
and they were playing into a double duelist with the Neon, which should be awful actually. A Neon on attack. I don't like this Neon Euro comp. I mean, not a Neon Euro comp, Neon ISO comp. I mean, you just lack flashes, and you lack your. I feel like your set retakes are much worse. I feel like your ability for map control will be a lot worse. You're kind of just dry swinging into spokes and then just hoping for the best and also getting one. I mean, it's just you're relying on Omen blind as your only blind, which is you fail one execute and then you're just kind of cooked, right? And even with that being said, 100 Thieves, I mean, NRG weren't able to deal with that. I feel like, especially on the defensive side, they just shouldn't. I just don't see how this comp can defend, like this ISO Neon comp. Because with the Euro, right, you can.
I mean, the way that they have been doing is they've been pushing on the extremity. So either Austin is pushing out on C long or he's pushing out on A long, and that's how they've been doing it. They've been doing that with like the wall and then like a breach flash or something, breach stun.
Yeah, I just feel like.
But like it's not like against a good team, it's not going to be replicatable.
That's the thing. I think NRG is they're respecting it like too much, right? I feel like they're respecting the 100 Thieves aggression too much, and they're just getting too much map control overall, and it's just like if you shut down their aggressive takes, and you make it that they have to extend either use more utility, or that or that they're more wary to do it, and you can focus on the side takes after that. It's just really hard for them to do anything because I mean they have to play a full retake, they have no map control, or they have used all the utility for map control, and then they're just kind of done for, right? You just win out from there. So that's my take overall for Haven, but I think
two things I'd like to highlight.
Yeah.
Mara, I think he made quite a bit of mistakes. He was over pushing a lot, especially in garage. Like 2 rounds in a row, he died then. Not 2 rounds in a row, but 2 rounds he died in garage with no one around him, to trade him or whatever, or no pressure from the other side was applied, let him find a timing. I think that's just again a team issue and an over pushing issue that
Yeah, I think like
experience. And
my theory is that sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
Go
theory is that like whenever you see this like a lot of over pushing, like to me this seems like he does not have faith in his team to help him win rounds, and he feels the need to frag out more, so he keeps over pushing because that's the only way he thinks he can win. Because like if I have like these players that are like inconsistent, that are like not really fragging that well, and I'm like the only like consistent like in quotes like the most consistent I should say fragger on the team, right? And I feel like the only way we have been winning, like they just look at the last game versus Live, they basically only won because Mata went crazy on Reyna, right? Like I'm feeling like that, and like I'd be over pushing as well. Like I think it's a factor you can see in a lot of different teams where the player keeps over pushing because they think it's their only opportunity to win.
Yeah, the second thing I wanted to highlight was FNS. He played less like a pussy this time around. Sure, he still lost his gunfight.
Yeah, that's true. Let's give our boy props, Yeah, instead of being completely shit, he was just kind of shit, I will say that.
all right.
Yeah, he didn't run out very.
Wait, I wanna bring up the elephant in the room as well. If we look at the top of the scoreboard here, Mr. has been negative every single game since he has started playing for 100 Thieves. Xander has a life game.
Xander.
Complete
Xander's
domination from Xander. He has been negative in every single series prior to this in T1. And he comes out of nowhere and he goes absolutely nuclear. And so my theory on this is that he knows that when this stage ends, because they're not qualifying to Toronto, he's gone. He's out of the team. He's like their worst player, you know? The consistent like Bustio, you know, like he's worse, but like he's IGLing, you know? Xander though, he has been shit. Like when I say shit, he's been shit. He just comes out of nowhere, has like the series of a lifetime.
So we're saying he's never.
Like, I mean, maybe, maybe, you know, he had like 3, 4. I remember he had like 3 different chances to ace, and then his like teammate stole it every time. I'm like, this guy is like where was this like for the other 15 matches he's played this year, you know? But I will say another theory is that EU, he had an absolute stinker today. And he's usually one of their best players, like after Cryo. Maybe EU's been taking all of Xander's kills. Maybe that's a theory. But yeah, no. If Xander can keep up this performance, 100 Thieves, like they might be fighting for maybe the 3rd spot, even. You know,
If Xander can
if
keep
like
up
Xander
this
keeps up this,
performance, they can go to Toronto.
yeah, Xander keeps up this performance. You know, Cryo performs like how he usually does. Asuna doesn't, you know, like he's like he's if he becomes consistent and like EU performs like normal, like they have like they could go to Toronto, you know. But I don't know if this is replicatable because this is the first time this year we've been seeing this out of Xander, you know, and this is versus NRG too. Like that's the other thing, you know, like out of all teams to do this against, NRG isn't the one that like instills the most confidence, you know.
Yeah, I want to bring up
Yeah.
one quick little
Anyway.
point before we go. We talked about this FNS on
Yeah.
this defense on Sentinel, right? But I mean, if we look at these rounds, he's going 7 and 12. It's very weird, right? He's getting 12 assists, but like the Sentinel is always a question with FNS, right? Because
Is that a 4% headshot rate?
that is a 4% headshot rate.
Listen, he's using a phantom, guys. Okay, he gets the dink and then he shoots the body. It's okay, guys. Don't worry.
I think
Don't
he
worry.
just shoots the body. Like he would have had more kills, you know.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's always in wondering with these teams. I mean, I'm flaming FNS here, but Boosty on the defense is. Oh wait, no, that's a. No, it is. It's defense. He's 1 and 10.
He had Xander carry him, you know.
That's true. You know what? Boosty
I'll
does
tell
get
you-
bailed out. You know, he does have Xander carrying him.
Listen, I will also bring out for the entire series, FNS is 1 and 6 in first kill and first death.
Yeah, it's just not a
So.
great look. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really.
Do you think this is my question though? Do you think NRG will make a change after this split?
No, I don't. I think maybe they'll depending on Brock, but I don't think the core of Ethan, FNS, Salman, Mata is gonna change.
You see, if I'm the org here, because I'm not saying like the players, but like if I'm the org here, I'm getting Bonkar back in, and I'm saying you take the reins. I'll listen to whatever you want. You know, like that. That's me if I'm the org. You know, like I'm kicking Mike's out. I'm kicking Finesse out. I'm kicking Sam out. I'm kicking Ethan out, and I'm building around Mata and Brock. You know.
Damn. Okay.
Because like the thing with this is you gotta remember, right? Ethan, Sam, and Finesse are only in it. Well, Ethan, like we don't know for sure, but Sam and Finesse are retiring after this year for sure.
Yes.
No,
So-
he says that he's retiring if he doesn't make an international.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But like we don't know if he keeps his word, you know. I would hope he does because I don't want to see him back in tier 1. But nothing against the guy. I'm sure he's an amazing guy, but I don't want him in energy, you know. But what was I gonna say? Right, like their only shot is winning champs, and I don't see them even like not winning champ, but like qualifying for champs, right? Like that's their goal. I don't see them qualifying, man. I don't even see them being like top 5. Like if I'm NRG, like the owners, I'm like, fuck it, this year's chalked. I'm building for next year, you know. But who knows? Maybe all of them learn how to be consistent during the break. Mike's like gets Sean Garris on the phone and like gets him at gunpoint. He tries to give him strats, you know. But yeah.
All right.
Next match.
Let's move on to the next one then, which is C9 versus EG,
Yeah.
which El Diablo is
Absolutely
back.
remember.
Again, I want another apology from all of you for believing in C9.
You
For
know,
not
that was-
believing in EG. I was clowned for my pick'ems. I was clowned for having EG qualify. I was clowned for even having EG beat C9. But they did it. They fucking did it. Oh my god.
But
El
I-
Diablo is back. Prime
I
is
had
back.
EG.
IC looks good. Punk didn't even go crazy and they still won. It was a masterclass. I will say Potter is back. It was great. And again, again, I will
Diablo.
say, Mitch is. It's a sad day when Mitch is the only one going positive on the team.
Can we play the Yay first round ace?
We can play the EA first round ace. Let me go straight to it.
Oh my god! Like this gives me so much hope for the team, especially IC Killjoy. IC Killjoy is what gives me the most hope because this to me says that IC can now flex to a different agent besides Duelist, which he has been looking like not the best at. Like he's been looking pretty inconsistent, but he can flex to a different agent and like actually look pretty good. 'Cause he was frying on Killjoy, you know.
Mhm.
He like saved them in
So
OT too.
beautiful.
I was convinced they were gonna lose, and then Ox just
So
comes
beautiful.
in, hero.
He just okay. Icebox. I remember like one of the last 2 rounds or one of the rounds, he hit a crazy 4K coming in through mid.
It was the or it was round 27, so it was like the next to last round.
Okay, yeah. He hits this
Yeah.
crazy straight spray transfer onto the 2 people in mid. 1v1's Oxy wins that. And then Vic is just kind of there sticking it. If
And
I
then
remember
Vic gets
correctly.
off, bro. Why did he get off?
Yeah,
he could have stuck it.
He could have stuck it. I will say that.
I will say though, Yay gets an ace, gets a 4K, gets 3Ks, gets 8 2Ks. You know, just goat shit right there. You know.
Drops
My
to
goat
four.
is back.
Yeah, 2022 Player of the Year. Beat out Faker, beat out Simple, beat out I forget who else was nominated, but he beat out all of them.
Reykjavik.
I think it was it this round? Wasn't it the round before this one?
I have no clue
Yeah, it was the round before this one.
for this one.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
it was when it
the
was 13
yeah.
13. It was EG were on attack. Yeah, here we go, here we go. You see this masterclass right here? You know Derek, he gets the spike down. He's a G, will be like that. You see Yay pushed
Yay
up,
gets one.
a nice angle. Yay gets a nice one right there. You see Icy on the lurk over here towards mid. Holy, what is this video quality? Oh my god.
That
And he
what
just
that
gets
was
the
that was a crazy spray.
insane spray transfer. Punk dies there. You're trying to kill the diffuser. Yeah. They don't get half, which is important. That's Icy. Great time with the molly. And then Vic here, he doesn't stick for some reason because he fears Icy's aura. And Icy wins the round. Okay, I think that's the first time I've seen Icy ever stand up in an official. I don't think I've seen Icy ever stand up before.
Nah,
Oh,
he
I
did
do-
it.
might be wrong,
I want
but-
to. I want to reference a tweet that I saw earlier today after this game. So you have Mitch, who's IGLing, who's getting kills, who's getting assists, and also standing up for the team. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Net's been
I
also
mean-
having some stinkers lately.
I mean, I always thought that Net wasn't the best play. He had like a great stage 1, which I will say boosted his stats. But like,
I think
what will I say was Net overrated from playing against NRG Lev and oh, who else did I play? NRG Lev and Furia.
I mean, he got dropped from G2 for a reason.
dude,
I mean, to be fair, this is my hot take maybe, but I think the original G2 roster with Leaf Duelist and Net Sentinel would have done better than the Icy Duelist Leaf Sentinel.
What
Maybe that's just.
what about Saya player?
What about Saya player?
Yeah, what about Saya Paleo Duelist and Leaf Sentinel? We could have had that too. But he had to go to T1 where they snaked him.
Did snake
On
him.
a team and
And now he's in tier 2.
Alright.
Playing in
Yeah,
Jan.
get Saya player back on T1. Get Saya player on GE.
He tried to join
Come
GE,
on.
but he wasn't good enough apparently.
Yeah.
It was okay. This is the thing about that because they did trials during the Neon meta, and then Patrick, who is apparently like an amazing Neon player, he's like a Neon abuser.
Okay, well,
I
we
saw
can
that.
talk about that later during the
Yeah.
during
During
the
Pacific,
APAC.
where I'm not
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was so now we're gonna talk about the next games. Yeah,
I
maybe?
You don't have to. You already
or
talked
we
about
just go to
it.
Pacific.
Actually, no, we have to do the pick'em. So,
yeah, we can do the pick'ems.
just 2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought we
just
made
just
pick'ems last
do
week.
pick option.
So
I mean, yeah, we already did pick 'em.
oh yeah, we already did
Two
pick 'em.
Like from this point.
Yeah. No, but like even
Here,
from this
if
point.
you-
In case of today, I'm here.
Yes. So are we moving on to Pacific?
I know we can do Crew MIVR and Cheetos and like, we can just pick these 2 games and then move on.
Okay,
I
so
mean, we already talked about them last week. Is the thing, right?
yeah,
Or-
we did. That's the thing.
We,
Yeah.
we picked these 2 teams to succeed. And we already
Yeah.
kind of talked about it, but I mean, we can just talk about them briefly about like what they showed. You know,
Oh, we
Yeah,
can talk
Um,
about our. We
I-
can talk about our. Yeah. With our if anybody's expectations change or opinions.
yeah. I think my faith in MIBR is like increased even more. Like I thought, like before, I still thought MIBR was gonna win, but now that they kind of destroy 100 Thieves,
Can we
I feel
agree
like
that
they're
Crew MIVR,
gonna destroy
Cheeto and
Crew.
Sen are definitely the top 4 teams in Americas right now?
I wouldn't say top 4. I would say like top 5, and then I put EG up there. You know,
I would
Okay,
put,
that's just
EG
even
are
we don't
making
believe that.
Toronto, baby. EG
They're
are
not
going to
making
Toronto.
I'm not.
They're gonna beat Crew, and then they're gonna beat Sen, and then they're going all the way.
I have MIBR G2
Watch.
Sen in top 3, and then I think top from 4 to like 4 to 6. I think it's interchangeable between 100 Thieves, Crew, and EG.
I have G2, MIBR, EG, Sen, and then Crew and 100 Thieves.
I have G2 Crew Sen MIBR 100 Thieves EG.
Okay, but you just hear me out, okay? Hear me out on the EG run. So MIBR beat Crew, right? Like we can all agree MIBR is gonna beat Crew.
Mhm.
No, we can't. What?
I think it'll be a
You-
3-mapper
you think
fight. I
Crew
do
is
think
gonna
the
beat
MIBR comes
MIBR?
out.
I think Crew can beat MIBR, yeah.
Okay, but do you think it's
They
like who do you
can,
have
but
in this
will they?
matchup?
Flip
Yeah,
a
that's
coin.
what I'm saying. Like,
Open the coin toss. Crew is head, MIBR is tails.
I think the
okay,
coin.
but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but like Crew is gonna lose. They're gonna face EG. EG have already beaten Crew without Prime Ye. Prime Ye is back. Prime Ye, or just Ye in general, has never lost a map, a series to Crew. They're gonna beat Crew. On the other side, Sen are gonna lose to G2. We're all in agreement. And Sen beats 100 Thieves. We're all in agreement again. If you're not in agreement,
we?
then everyone in the world. If you have Sen losing to 100 Thieves, I don't know what to tell you. And then Sen versus EG. Potter, she has Prime Ye now, and now she can finally beat Sen again. You know, Potter versus Kaplan. Kaplan has only beat Potter once the entire history. That's when she didn't have Prime Ye. Now Prime Ye is back. They're gonna shit all over Sen, and then they're gonna lose in the lower final, and they're gonna get 3rd seed.
This is almost fan fiction.
I mean, the only like I can see them beating Crew. That's the one I can see. Like realistically, I can see them beating Crew because
They've done it before, yeah.
they've already beaten Crew, right? And like you can say that's an off game from Crew, but also I think EG have improved from when they faced Crew as well. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I have a feeling that EG is gonna go on a run. There's always one team that upsets, you know. And
You know
like that was my reasoning for picking EG because I'm pretty sure everyone had like or most people had like the 2 teams going out were like NRG and EG or 100 Thieves and EG, you know.
Yeah.
But like there's always one team that upsets in this split. It's gonna be EG. EG to Toronto. Premier is back. He's going to Toronto, baby. Yeah. So good luck on Pacific. I'm out.
Alright, goodbye.
Alright, that's okay. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
You managed to do less than 1 hour. Less than 1 hour. Felicitations, everyone. It's good.
Less than 1
Megan,
hour.
would you like
This is a mega episode. What? Like,
would you like to take my spot? My migraine is low key killing me.
Wait, what?
My migraine is low key killing me.
I mean, you can just hop off and then we'll run a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
What game you
No
said,
worry.
guys?
No worry.
What are we going over later?
We're
Uh,
just gonna do APAC and then go next.
Okay. So I'm assuming you guys are gonna discuss about like the last week of playoffs and then do pick'ems for playoffs.
Yep.
Yes.
More of just reflecting on stage for different teams and then we'll do pictures.
Okay. I'll stick around for my paper X plays.
Yeah. And I'll help track by track.
okay. So let's go straight into it then. Let's go to Pacific, where we have just the playoffs to do.
Yep.
All right.
Past game and playoff. If you have a lot of things to say on past game, because I
Oh,
don't.
Let's start with talent change.
oh yeah, there were some matches. Do we want to go over that or?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have to kind of.
So I believe we ended off with it's
We ended off before Talon Zeta.
yeah. So PRX versus GE.
Yeah. Nothing much to say. These teams don't have a coach. They were way too slow on their attack hubs. They thought, oh, we have paper X in our hands. We just have to wait them out. But like they waited, but then they didn't do anything. It was melons all over on split. It was
Okay.
a mediocre show from G.
I am going to stand up and put my hand up and say this. We are so back.
We are so bad. I absolutely agree with you. Track by track.
Uncle Devi, he is shooting. We are so back.
Uncle
Yes.
Devi.
Forsaken on smokes. It's looking pretty good. We are so
Looks
back.
natural.
Jing back on Rays. We are so back.
Something
Pavan,
really favored
he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
And something rare quiet game, but it's
Actually,
okay. It's okay because we
despite
won.
him not having kills, like he had a lot of first kills on the operators, and he didn't find impact with it. Like I'd say most of his kills were just impact kills.
I think.
But overall, we are so back.
We are so bad.
I mean, I think this team has finally found an identity with itself, right? It has the role issues sort of fixed. It's still a bit interesting to see this Forsaken Smokes. I think it's a little bit.
Okay, can you rewind a bit?
Huh?
Rewind a bit when Forsaken gets a 2K.
Forsaken gets to 2.
Just this round only, like 20 seconds ago. Right, look at Forsaken. No,
Right,
after
shit,
this,
I've
like
gone
20
too far.
seconds.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's way before.
Yo.
Just go back 10 seconds.
I don't have arrow keys.
Yeah, this is it. Look
It's
at
fine.
that. Forsaken sees that they're coming. He places down the smoke and automatically repositions himself in the best possible place to get a 2K. He could have gotten a 3K, but like his intuition is so good. Like I can keep pleasing this guy forever. I just wanted to highlight. I just wanted to glaze him. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I think.
Like
I
first
think.
time it smokes,
Uh,
pulls the smoke.
yeah, his intuition is great, but I think I wanna see his performance overall on like the smokes role that they're playing on him on like over a longer time period, right? Because he isn't that used. Like we don't usually see him play smokes, right? So it's always a bit of a
Yeah.
question of how he will perform. But I mean, this game he looked good. But sorry for to rain down on the PRX like. I don't even know, the hope, right? But I think GE overall did not play that great this series. I think there were a lot of holes in their gameplay. I think that PRX did a great job capitalizing on it, but I don't know if PRX can put up anywhere near this level of performance against a better team, because I think GE right now, they started off great, right? They got of the split, but they've been looking real shit recently, and this win doesn't give me too much confidence. It gives me confidence in the roles at least. But as a team itself and the macros, I still think it's very questionable. And you need to
Yeah, I think
see.
the Lotus has pretty good macro. I actually think the Lotus have really good macro.
Lotus, I thought Lotus was okay. I thought G played themselves more than Paper X.
And that's also fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall for Paper X, we played good. We're figuring some things out. Obviously, it can be better for playoffs. The biggest hurdle right now will be the first game. That's on the 3rd. They'll be up against whoever loses the DRX and T1 matchup. That will be a hard game. If we win that, we will have confidence, and we are going to Toronto. Thus endeth my TED Talk and my glaze about Paper X, and I
Yeah.
will now depart.
Wow.
I just want to talk about G a bit. Like, they need to find a head coach clearly elevated. Like, he's not head coach material. He needs help. They need to find him a head coach quick. Maybe Leggy, right? The lead head coach. Maybe he's available. They something needs to be done about that. But I'm just talking very big right now. That's why I don't seem focused.
Yeah, I really don't think this win about Global Esport is that a good sign. It's just Global Esport. Okay, it's a middle team, but a team in crisis. Paper X just beat them. This doesn't mean nothing. And if you want to believe into Paper X, you need to wait playoff. So go next, and we'll see later if Paper X can do it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So let's go into the next matchup, which is what was the next
You want
match?
to do the group of Paper X?
Oh yeah, we can do the
So
group
we go
here.
DRX Genji and
DRX Genji.
and then we're good.
All right. So DRX
Yeah.
play against Shinji. They go 2-1. They continue to play with Human Bane, Marco freeing in Estrella, which means no flashback. He's still taking his break. Okay,
They look
let's
good, but
let's hear your opinion.
I think they both look good on their respective map picks. Ascent, I think they just didn't have the necessary strat book to beat DRX. The Yoru was just off. The Texture had no idea what he was doing. That's the
Wow.
best way to put it. I guess no idea is a bit rough, but they weren't good enough to beat a team like DRX. They clearly need more practice on it with the new con that they have.
Ascent is an interesting map because for once, the team that starts in attack manage to win this game. So it's amazing. Big shootout to DRX because they started in the wrong side, and they managed to take 4 rounds when Genji have started 6-0. But they managed to keep their mind in and just turn the game in defense. So well played. They were no team that played double sentinel, so maybe it's a little bit easier to not getting totally exploded in attack. So well played to Derricks.
Dude, I
Yeah,
think
right.
the one thing we want to mention though is that Genji are not playing the double sentinel, and first of all they struggle to get one round. I mean, it's kind of depressing if you're running a Yoru Teho Sova that you're unable to get one round against a non-double sentinel comp on the other side. It really brings into question:
No.
is it double sentinel or is it like Ascent? Like, even if you're running double sentinel on Ascent, right? Is it really worth? Because we're seeing that these teams, even if they're not running double sentinel, they're not getting many attacking rounds. They're not getting many defending rounds. And on the opposite side, they're not getting many. They're getting a lot of defending rounds, right? So I think it's really questionable on that side, but yeah.
I think when you are running double sentinels, you can hope 2 round maximum in attack. The pistol, usually the pistol and the other on the other one, and that means you have to do a flawless defense if you want to win, and you need to start in defense, of course, because the mental will not allow you to have a flawless defense. And when you are in attack, double sentinel or not, I think you will also crush people. So I don't think double sentinel is that good. I think playing double sentinel is good only if you are starting. If you are know for sure that you are gonna starting in defense. So if Ascent is your 5th or your 6th map or your 7th map, you can train double sentinel composition and just not pick the map, let the opponent pick the map, and just play your double sentinel position and crush them. But I still think overall the traditional composition is better because you will manage to take 4 rounds in attack if you are good, 5 if you are amazing, and maybe even more if you are far better than your opponent. Think that it's really hard to do with a double sentinel composition. And the defensive gap will be a little bit the same. You maybe will have 1 round or 2 rounds more if you play double sentinel, but not that much.
Yeah.
I think.
Again, I think
Oh,
both
yeah.
teams. Okay, go on, go on.
Okay, I was just gonna bring out. First of all, I think Hellman played incredible. He was 13 AM first kills and first deaths. If you go, it's mainly also in defense actually. Now I'm looking at it, but I just think this guy is insane. I think Bane played out of his mind as well, really like proving himself as a player after the flashbacks removal. You're having a Shrella. He put up 2 really good performances before this game, and now you go into this one where he put up a little bit of a stinker, but overall you still won
He
the
is
map.
IGLing, right?
He is IGLing, yes. So he was having a
yeah.
very good performance on IGLing, and now he's having a bit of a worse performance, right? Which is kind of to be expected of an IGL, but it's I think it's a question of what his fragging power is to be, because we've only seen 3 games so far, where 2 games he's been pretty good, and 1 game he's been not that good. So I think you should really watch out for that. I think I also want to talk about Marco. Marco recently he's been struggling to actually frag out. If you look at his past games, against
That's
like
just 2 games, right?
yeah,
That's
it's
two
just
games.
these
I
2
don't.
games I'm talking about, where he goes -19, and in this game he's only going +1 21-20 against G, right, which they dominated. So I think this is a good sort of like a resurgence building confidence for him off the IGLing, right? So it's a little bit different. You have to get used to it. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you can continue with your point, math material.
But I was just saying, like both teams looked really good overall. Like the only thing I'd say is, for the prep on Ascent was inadequate from Genji. But apart from that, if I think both of these teams can make it to Toronto and can do some real good damage. Like if one of these 2 teams, like these 2 teams win, I won't be surprised. So
Yeah.
it was a good high level game.
Okay, so next game is Detonation Focus Me versus Boom Esports. So maybe we shouldn't shoot at the ambulance too much because Boom Esports is a far better team and you have nothing to analysis from that game, because when there are 2 teams that have a so huge gap, then what can you say?
Crying Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. That's the best way to put it. Positive influence.
Boom good, DFM bad. Let's move on
Yeah,
then.
do that.
T1 versus Talon, where T1 lose. Promi puts up an
I
incredible
predicted
game.
talent. You guys called me a madman for that.
I did call you a
listen,
madman. Oh my gosh. First of
Cruz
all,
was just
yeah.
yeah.
No, you can
I'll just
you can go.
Okay, first of all, they need to get out of their ice box. They have no clue what they're doing on that map. I don't think they'll have enough practice, at least in playoffs. So they should do that permaban. They should play Ascent instead. Second of all, Cruz is just he locked the fuck in. It wasn't even. He was in that flow state of 5G. He's just making the right call again and again, and it was just beautiful to watch. It's like watching a mastermind play. This is what FNS wants to do. Cruz is the code. That's all. Just sort of Cruz plays.
Yeah. So from my side, I think first of all, very disappointing from T1, right? You come off a massive Bangkok win, and throughout the stage, I feel like they played pretty poorly. I haven't really liked the series they've played so far. You know, I think that overall all their players are having an underperformance. You can say, oh, Bangkok they had, or you can say Bangkok had an overperformance, right? Because if you look at wait, what?
Oh, he's back.
Ah, you're back. We couldn't hear you for a moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think the streams got you because you are the host there. So if we are talking and you don't listen to me, it's okay. But if you talk, everyone will hear,
Yeah.
even if you are out.
But
Yeah.
I just want to frame a question for you. Do you guys think that with T1's recent performance, do you think that they are looking for Toronto, or are they have a chance of do you think they're like a dark horse, more of a dark horse, or more of a dark horse pick for Toronto?
I have a really strong opinion about T1. Maybe I should keep it for playoff for the playoff analysis. But I to be short, I don't think T1 will be that good, and I will bring argument later if you like.
Okay.
I kind of agree with Maggie. Like I guess it is a bit of what do you call it? I forgot the word for it.
Keep it
I'm not
for
gonna
playoff. Keep it for playoff.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother remembering it, but it is. They haven't looked good so far. I guess it's the same doubts you had before, right? For Autumn, like, is he really a good coach? Did he just get lucky in Bangkok, you know? So far, it's hard to call. Like maybe they just lock in for playoffs, and it's a really 50-50 for me. Either they lock in, make Toronto, it's not even close, or they struggle, they don't have the right ideas, and they don't make it. It's either they crash out or they make it. Like there's no in between. Like I don't see them making second, third. Either they crash out or they make it.
You want to hear my opinion now, or you prefer wait for the bracket playoff?
We can wait for playoffs.
I think they lose to Paper X. That's my opinion.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go then
Right.
to the next match, which is Nongshin versus Zeta, which qualifies the opposing team. Nongshin 2-1 was a pretty back and forth game. You know, you have two like blowouts from Nongshin and one very close game on Pro. Anyone have any strong opinions?
Yeah, I think that they messed up the map veto a bit. I don't think picking Lotus was a mistake from Zeta. Let me actually put out the map veto. So
Zeta Division picked Lotus, Pearl for Nongshim, and then Decider split.
okay, Zeta ban Haven, Nongshim ban Fracture, Zeta picked Lotus. I think it should have been the other way around. I think Nongshim has shown a better Lotus than Haven. Zeta should have picked Haven and banned Lotus. They had a really good anti-strat against Nongshim on Pearl. Like they had a really good game plan going against them. And that's map 2. Map 3 split. Nongshim just had way too much util, and Zeta couldn't, move past it. Like they didn't have the protocols to pay out the util and then make a push. They just this is attack hub, by the way. Zeta could not attack. They like how it's just they have too much util and they didn't bait it out properly. So they had a pretty bad attack, and Nongshim won that. If I don't think Zeta could have won this map. I did predict them, but like the way they played, I don't think they could have won it. I think they messed up in the map veto. I think if they picked Haven, I would have. They probably could have, but with this map veto, I don't think they will. They could play this map like 10 times over. I don't think Zeta Division win this.
I want to take a second to glaze to glaze a player that I really like, Margaret, that made an amazing series plus 35. He was okay on Lotus. He solo carried Pearl, and he did amazing on Split. I love this player because I really think he got the science of the lurk. And in Ascension, Nongshim was an amazing team to take space. You know, the Sentinels was taking a lot of space on an opposite side, and if he managed to take the space, then all the team was rotating. He said, "Oh, the site is free, and then they were really good at doing that, and I really think because they have a really strong lurker that allows them to do that. I don't know if Nongshim, if he did lurk a lot on this series, if anyone can tell me if it's the case or not. But yeah, I really want to take a second to glaze at Margaret.
Margaret had a fair amount of lurks,
I think
especially on Pearl.
yeah, I think there were quite a bit of lurks. Not like like in insane amounts. He didn't like just lurk, but there was quite a few that I can remember. I want to first talk about this Nongshin composition because they're running those just solo neon on every map with Dumby, which I think is a bit of a it's a bit of a question, right? Like I don't think neon is that great of right now that you can run on every single map, even like in prime neon. Even like EDG, the team that's used neon the most, they only use it on 3 maps, I believe. Yeah, it was Haven, Lotus, and Sunset. So I think this neon is it's a very questionable agent that you're just having done.
I can answer that question.
Hmm?
I can answer that question. To me, we are in a Valorant meta where, you know, when you are cooking, you can't make a chocolate cake if you have tomatoes. And to me, neon is tomatoes. Yeah, so there are some players that is really amazing on neon, and that will be kinda mid on other agents. So even if I agree with you, neon is not that a good pick, and neon might even be overrated. There are some team where the best choice for them is to pick neon because their duelist is really good at neon and is not bad, but less good on neon. So yeah, we are in a meta where what it's depend if what ingredients do you have. Okay, I have a tomatoes, I have a neon player, then I can continue to go to neon and force on the neon. Yeah, it might cause issues, it can be anti-strat, but then you have to be smarter and create your own meta against the ingredients that you have. I don't know if you agree with that, Nat?
I agree that Dumby should be playing the neon because he's much better at it than any other duelist. But I feel like it's gonna limit Nongshin quite a bit, and it's gonna make it's.
I think the best way to put it is short term, right? Like it's you can't hope to find long term success with the neon. Like sure, it's good right now, but
yeah.
maybe I don't think it'll be good long term.
I
I think
just
short term you'll find more success, but
yeah, I feel like you're killing your chance at going to an international because these better teams like DRX, they'll completely shut it down. And I think it's a very gimmicky way of playing, right? I do think it's the right choice for Nongshin for now because Dambi is the only neon player, but oh they gotta work on it. I feel like they gotta have like when I feel like
On
this-
what,
yeah.
on one map do you think playing neon is something that will make you lose the map?
What maps? I think
Ascent?
Ascent is the problem. I think
Yeah.
what's let me look at the map pool right now. I think
They lose on Pearl.
Ascent, I think Pearl will be a problem. I think Split is quite a bit of a problem. I think Icebox is questionable at best. I think Lotus Fracture, I think Haven Fracture, right? You definitely in Neon I think are fine. Lotus is a question mark, but I think Neon is quite good right now on Lotus. And I think these 4 over here are pretty bad Neon maps.
To me, the problem is maybe when you play Neon, you usually want to have a breach with you because the breach is an amazing setup for the Neon, and Tero is also really strong on the map. So if you want to play Neon on every map, you have to play breach Tero on a lot of map. On Haven, breach Tero Neon, it's doable. On Fracture, breach Tero Neon, it's doable. On Lotus, breach Tero Neon is also really strong. On Pearl, okay, this one is a little bit tricky, and I'm not sure we can do it. On Ascent, Bridge Tero is okay, J2 show it, but Neon is a little bit weak, but it's doable. On Icebox, you can even play without any duelist, so why not Neon that have a wall that can be used in an interesting way. On Split, Bridge Tero also works, so beside Pearl, beside Pearl and Ascent, I think you're good with Tero Neon Bridge. But the main problem here with Nongshim is they don't play breach. They go on a deadlock, and you know my opinion on deadlock. I really don't like this agent. If Do you think they manage a way to replace the breach with a deadlock and find a way to set up the neon with the deadlock?
No, I feel like this is more Zeta playing against
Yeah.
themselves than anything. I really hate this comp. I mean, you're playing double controller, you're playing Neon, who has no flash, and you're playing two other agents who have no flash. You have Deadlock here, which you can't pair well. You don't have nades. You don't have a utility that can refresh
Yeah.
on the Scravnet. So you're kind of just picking Deadlock for a wall that's kind of useless because you can pick another Sentinel and provide the same value and get higher value because you have trips. You have more. You can get more map control with like I don't know, a Cypher camera, a Bias flash for info,
Or just a breach?
or just a
Or
breach.
just pick a breach?
Yeah, that's sure. Just play a breach, right? You have double controller, play a breach, play a fade. This is like EDG's comp, but you're taking a Viper Ball Cloak, which I think is better. So it's just much better of a comp. I don't understand why we are running this deadlock. It just does not make sense. I think there is a time and place for deadlock. I'm not a deadlock much of a deadlock hater as you, but I think you have to pair it with the right agents, and this is not it. I feel like this
Yeah.
is
Because
really understratable.
I do think Deadlock. I don't know Deadlock is like a really good agent, but Deadlock can be really good. But I really believe she has to be played with Teho in that case.
Yeah.
Teho or any sort of area dynamic, Deadlock or Brimstone, and or Deadlock and Teho in this case. I think if you play with like that, Deadlock can be really strong.
That's-
You
To me, the problem with Deadlock isn't that she's weak. The problem is that you always have better options than Deadlock. For example, on the map she's picked like Split, Lotus, and I'm not sure which one. I think there are another
Ascent.
one, but I'm not sure.
Ascent is a really strong
Ascent, but
Deadlock
maybe it's okay for Ascent. But Split, Lotus, you want to have one duelist. You want to have two controllers because Viper is really strong on it. You want to have a reveal because you can't play without a reveal. It's not possible. You want to have a sentinel and you want to have a flash, and that's already 6 pick. And where do you put the deadlock in the composition? It's a little bit hard. You have to sacrifice something that is really good on the map, and that's why I think deadlock is not good. Because if Valorant was a 7-player game, a game with a 7-player, deadlock would be amazing. But it's not
I
the
would not
case,
play the
and
game.
if you pick deadlock, you sacrifice something that you shouldn't.
Listen, 7 players, that's way too much. I would not play. No one would play this game.
Yeah,
Okay, no.
obviously nobody will play this game. I
I
won't play
think the
this game
ideal
either.
deadlock count is with Yoru. Like, obviously, you need a second sentinel like Cypher, for trips. And the ideal comp is with Yoru or some other flash duelist who can also take space. I think if you really want to play deadlock, either play her with Teho or Yoru or both.
Yeah,
also-
you've got to play some hybrid agent. I agree.
Yeah.
Next map. Next
Yeah.
next game.
Next game. Next game.
Let's
Next
talk
game.
about the next game then, which is Team Secret versus RRQ, where Team Secret do their 1 in a million. They win this game.
Listen, Envy,
Yeah. Any
They create a drama all alone. If this upset didn't happen, we would have a full drama again about Nongshim. And I don't know if I should curse or thank Team Secret for creating this terrible scenario and this brain exploding things, but well played to them. They win this game, they deserve it, and they fucked everyone brain. So GG.
I just want to say, like, why are you experimenting when you have nothing to lose? Like, so nothing to gain. Like, why couldn't you experiment before? Why couldn't you put Wild Orient Duelist before this? Like, clearly it worked out. Why the fuck didn't you do it before? Why are you doing it when there's nothing to play for?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I mean, this.
I think Wild Orient, it was a good experiment, and we played like he's been blessed by God himself. He ascended from the heavens, gave Envy his divine powers, and like go fuck over RRQ for no reason. Yeah, they did that, but it's such an insignificant game, and Envy just played like his life depended on it, but it really didn't. This game is more funny than it's tragic.
I mean, but like this is also like what Team Secret does. It's they win nonsense games. They win games no one expects, and they lose games that after everyone goes, "Oh my gosh, they beat X good team. Team Secret are so good," and then they immediately lose to like DFM. That's the type of thing Team Secret do. Does this bring your opinion down on RQ for anyone? Do you think that
It does. It does quite a lot for me. Yeah, I think this just shows that the win against T1, like we saw T1, not play well, and I think it was the Group Omega is just weak overall, and that's why they look
Yeah.
good, and that's why Team Secret were able to beat them. And like, don't get me wrong, RRQ do look good. Like they are a pretty complete roster. I think Jemkin plays really well. Wanyard has been playing pretty well, but uh, they're not good enough to beat the top three alpha teams as it stands.
I think every games in this BO, in this series, is alarming for RQ. You pick Heaven, and you have to go to overtime to beat Team Secret on your own map pick, and you started in 9-3. This is absolutely alarming. Then Team Secret pick Ascent. It's a free win for RQ.
And it's just chopped. It's over.
Nat, you want to add something?
Do I want to add something? I think that I mean, it does bring my opinion of RRQ down a little bit, but I don't think I don't want to take too much into consideration because this is also Team Secret, right? I feel like this is what they do. So, yeah, I think that I'm not gonna pull out the white flags yet. I don't want to say that RQ are done for.
I'm not saying RRQ is a bad team. No, I don't think they're done for that. I think there is a chance they could make it to Toronto, but they have a tough road ahead.
Yeah, they do have a tough
Like,
road.
Nat,
Yeah.
honestly, Nat, if Team Secret play as good as they played against ARQ for every other single game, do you think they will go to champ?
No,
Okay, no, I think they could have
So
finished top two in
RRQ
the
will
group.
not go to Toronto.
I don't think RRQ.
No, I think
will go to
RRQ
Toronto.
also didn't. RRQ didn't
Okay.
play a good game, especially on that ascent. I think that was a pretty bad showing on ascent. And they have been pretty good on that map. I don't know what changed. But if they played this well, I think they could have beaten Nongshan, Zeta, and probably even a struggling Talon when they first started. So they could have finished top two or even top three in this when they played this well.
Okay. So next, it was the last game. So
Yeah.
maybe it's time for the bracket, the
Time for-
best moment in the podcast.
Time for the pick'ems. Yes.
Yes.
Give a Talon,
Uh,
Genji.
Before you start, maybe a little bit word on the drama about Nongshim. So the rulebook in Riot Game was a little bit shaky, so it was a little bit hard to figure out who will be in the lower bracket, and it was poorly worded, and Nongshim was put in the lower bracket. But if you read carefully what is said in the rulebook, things are a little bit more complicated. I don't know if you have an opinion on this one.
Wait.
It was round differential, right? And Nongshan had
No.
the highest
In fact, we were in a situation where in map differential, you've got RRQ first, then T1 was tied with Nongshim, and then you've got Talon last. And since in map differential Talon was last and RRQ was first, it was kinda implayed in the rulebook, but it was really not clear that RRQ was first, Talon was last, and then you have something that sort out.
I thought you went to
the
round
two
differential
remaining
after
games.
map
So
differential, no?
Yeah, it'd be round.
What?
It'd be. Yeah, wouldn't it be round?
No. Because when one team is out of the tiebreaker, you have a tiebreaker reset. So you don't go to round differential. This is a really weird. So here was the correct answer. So Talon, RRQ, Nongshim, and that last one was T1, I think. Yeah. So
Okay, you know what? I get
RRQ,
it. No, I
RRQ
get
was
it.
first of the tiebreaker, so
Yeah.
they were out of the tiebreaker. So you reset the tiebreaker, and then you make a tiebreaker head-to-head with the three remaining teams, and Nongshim was the third one, the last one. And it was really not clear because if we only take map differential, Talon could also have been last because they were the last in map differential. It was not the case, and this a little bit was an awkward situation. But at the final moment, it's how it worked.
So what I get is RRQ. There's a four-way tie between RRQ, Talent, Team, and Nongshan. Since RRQ had they've all won against each other, so they put RRQ number one because they had the highest map differential.
Oh,
Then
and
they
then,
go to the
Yeah,
other three teams,
and then
they were secured first, whatever it happened.
and the other three teams they look for head-to-head. Since Talent beat both T1 and Nongshan, they got put number two. And since T1 beat Nongshan, they got put number four, and T1 went number three. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's really complex situation. So okay, I made a complete video if people are interesting. So maybe I shouldn't do my my promotion on there. But yeah, if you are still lost, I can help you. Okay, so first game is Talon versus Genji.
Yes, Talon versus
Yep.
Genji. What's your opinions? Do you think Talon come
My
on to the
opinion
game?
is, I
I think it's
really believe in the talent. I believe in
I s-
Cruz going 0 dark 30 and this.
I think it's the hardest part of the brackets. Talon and Genji, it's Genji is maybe the consistent team there, while Talon shows they can be good, but they were in a weaker group. So I really don't know which one I would bet on. Nats, you bet Genji also?
Yeah, I bet Genji.
Yeah, okay. So my opinion is irrelevant. I would just bet Talon just to fuck with you guys.
Wait, isn't
Not joking.
isn't
Joking.
math voting Talon?
Math?
My guy is gone.
Oh.
Oh no, is it a two-person
Oh
episode?
no. Oh no.
Um,
I will bump the APAC. So
uh,
the APAC.
we not. You know what? We can continue fourth, and we'll see if he comes back.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Just let me let me just bump the
Yeah.
the Discord, the APAC live group stage. Okay. Okay, so I'm okay for Genji. That is maybe the most experienced team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were losing me. Okay, so okay for Genji. Next game is
Genji.
DRX versus T1.
DRX, this is T1, where I'm voting DRX.
I have absolutely. This is the time. This is the moment where I need to give my opinions about T1 because yeah, they won the last master. They were amazing. Ha ha ha. Great. So
Am I back? Am
Math.
I back?
Yes,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
back.
back,
You're
you're
back.
back, hello.
You want to finish on Talon versus Genji before
Yeah. I vote for
I
talent. I vote for talent. I'm with you.
Oh, okay, you go for Talon. Why do you go for Talon? Guys, let's just try to convince me. I'm the queen here, and you just guys arrive with a present. You are offering me Talon, and you not are offering me Genji. What are your arguments?
My
Convince me.
argument is that Genji still need time to cook up stuff. They Solo is really particular about how he wants the game to be played, and uh, I think Genji will take more time. I don't think they'll be ready enough to. They won't be at that world beater stage yet, and I think Talon is already playing at that level. I, uh, we've been clowning on Frost for a while, but he is making some interesting comps. They have a really good game plan. I think Talon is going to win. I believe in Cruz.
Yeah.
Cruz has been calling
Oh.
really well. I think he's been the best IGL so far in stage one.
This game will depend on if Primi is in a good day or not.
Okay, so
I
give
don't
you my
think it
opinion.
will. I think even if Kimi has a bad
Yeah.
game, I think Talon will still win.
Okay, so first of all, I think that Genji, they are a solid core. They are well known. They're always good for you. They're a good team in like the core, core wise, and I think that their players. You can talk about Premi having a good game, but I think if you look at the Genji side, if you look at Texture having a good game, if you look at Karon having a good game, I think that's at the same level as Premi. I think that if you are looking at firepower wise, Genji are more consistent, and if you look at their peaks, even then I think Genji can match Talon.
Hmm.
And also I think Genji are in a harder group. They played DRX super close when DRX are now more used to Estrella now into the roster. And
Yeah.
they've always played close, right? They've played close to the entire
Yeah.
group. They've been looking good. I think that
Mm.
overall, Talon are a super inconsistent team. They can show up one game, they can disappear another, and it's just much better to bet on Genji because they have always been good and they've shown to be good against better teams. Whereas Talon, they've beaten T1, but T1 have looked kind of shaky and they've lost against Zeta. which is
Okay.
interesting.
You convince me. I go to Genji. Just before we go to the next one, how many % do you think Boost Team have a chance to win? We can't hear you, Nat. You're back.
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
I give Talon a 40% chance to win.
Okay, decent. Math.
I think it's a 55-45 for Talon. I really
Okay.
believe in rules.
Okay, sounds
I
fair.
don't know, it's a gut feeling. It's hard to explain. Like, sure, T1 didn't play well, but it's a gut feeling. I think Talon's going to win against NG.
Okay. Next game, DRX versus T1, and here, yeah, I want to speak about T1 because last Masters, they won the Master. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. But you know which team looked really decent at the last Masters and looked really decent at last kickoff? Vitality. And now Vitality are an horrible team. And to me, the early of the year is the moment where nobody knows what the meta is. Everyone tries weird shit, and the only revelation, the only thing that will say who's gonna win is who got the best aim. We don't care about meta. We don't care about strategy. Just do your own shit, and it's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen. And I think it's exactly what did happen to T1. I just think T1 wasn't ahead in terms of strategies. There are really weird things. They play double duelist everywhere. There are 3 players that play a duelist on this event because they play a double duelist everywhere. You've got a pick Reina that have absolutely no sense. I think it was on Abyss. No, this team didn't really know if there are a plan, I have absolutely no idea of what the plan. And here, they didn't crush a group that was really easy. They were in a pure struggle. And yeah, I don't think T1 is gonna win this one. So I'm fully go on DRX, and my opinion on T1 is really low on this event.
I kind of agree with you that I wanted DR. I picked DRX to win from the start. They looked really good with Astrea, and now that they have time to cook, that they've had 1 week since the last game, almost 2 weeks actually. So I like the coaching. Like I really believe in the coaching staff. I think Astrea is up to speed. I want Paku to play well. I hope he does. I picked DRX to win this as well.
Okay. Nats, you want to add something? Because before we say DRX?
I was just saying DRX because I mean they looked incredible right now. I think they've they've gotten time to adapt with Estrella, and I think T1 they look super inconsistent. I don't think they've played a good series in stage 1 so far, so I don't have the vote of confidence to vote T1 here.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Next one, Talon versus Nongshim.
Give it to Talon. I won't take any arguments for Longshore. Just put Talon ahead. They've beaten them once. They have a really good rerun how Longshore likes to play, and that was when Talon was bad. Now that they're actually really good, I don't even think it's close. Just put Talon in.
What about you?
Okay, Nats?
Okay, I'll go. I think I'm voting Talon here because I think Talon they're always good for one. You know, they will lose a game, they'll look super bad, and then they come in and they look like the best team in the world. Notion, I don't like their comps. I think their macros okay. I think their individuals are, sometimes are here, sometimes are there, a little inconsistent as well. So I think I have more confidence in Talon winning.
In normal time, I would have give 50, maybe even 60% chance for Talon to win. But in fact, Nongshim will have again. We are in the situation where Nongshim will have 1 week more to prepare a game that Talon will have 1 day to prepare. And I think these two teams are close enough to be enough for Nongshim to win. So I'm going to Nongshim for a 55-45. I think it will depend
Here's
on.
my thing. Nongshim has had months from the Ascension tournament to stage 1 to prepare new stuff. They tried new stuff, it didn't work out. They reverted back to what worked in their Ascension tournament, and they're playing similar comp, similar style. And I don't think in this 1 week, I think the best they can do is anti-strat Talon, but I think Frost is a much better coach than the Talon coach. I forgot his name. That's my bad. But if there's any coach I trust, like if you've been given 1 week of prep time, do something with it. It's I put Frost up there and I put Turmy up there, and I think in terms of strategy, Frost got it.
To me,
I
when
think
you
Frost would have
anti-strat
good input
someone,
for that.
to me, when you're anti-strating someone, you don't have to change your composition. You can keep your own composition, but knowing exactly what your opponent will do is enough
Basically,
to
you don't
have.
know what talent will do. Even talent don't know what they do, but they'll do it well.
Okay. I like this idea of if you are not if you are not knowing what you are doing, your opponent don't. So okay, good point. Nats, did I convince you or you keep on Talon?
Nah, I want to keep a talent here.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to T1 Paper X.
I have the same opinion on exactly the same thing. I think T1 is maybe a better team, but PRX will have more time. It's not a team that will prepare, but when you are playing against a team that just lose a game, then they just lose last day. So their mental will not be good. So it's a perfect moment to beat them. You have 1 week to clear your mind, to be ready for that game. And yeah, I'm gonna go for PRX on this.
I'm going to pay FedEx again, track by track. That's the first victory. That's all we need.
Okay.
Guys, are you seriously playing Paper X? Okay.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Go nuts,
Okay,
go
no,
nuts.
the first game Boom and Genji played, Boom pulled out their Ascent comp, and they looked incredible. And the next time Boom and Paper X played. Right, sure. Paper X didn't play their other two maps well. They kind of fumbled their Fracture and I forgot what their other map was. But they fumbled those maps. But their Ascent looked really good against Boom. And they had it. That's because Alex is surprisingly a really good anti-strat coach. In fact, he's been a really good anti-strat coach for a while. We just don't talk about it. Against EG in the grand finals, right? They won the Ascent, which they had lost originally in the upper finals. So I think now that they have tape on T1 and it's their first game, they've had that confidence, they've had that time. I think Paper X should win this. Track by track. First game.
Guys, Paper X.
That's the first station.
Paper X beat
First
DFM
station.
and GE.
That's the first station. No, they beat their demons
Good
and then
argument.
the confidence game.
Guys, T1. Okay, T1 have not looked that good. But Paper X have looked even worse than them. T1 are at least they're winning good games. Okay, we're looking at Paper X. They're beating GE and DFM. Absolute farming. Like crops out here, bro. I don't have confidence in Paper X. I think that they've just figured out their comps. They're still figuring out their identity. I think that there is still huge issues on the macro side. I think that if you're looking at GE's match in isolation, it is not fair because GE are not looking like a good team as well. I think you should look at their past games as well, and I think in the past games they looked terrible, and against GE they played decent. I don't think that's enough to win against T1.
Those are really funny words.
I agree
don't
with you.
understand them. I'm gonna go Paper X anyway.
I agree with you, but I really think the fact that you are gonna play against a T1 that just lose, that is in a, I think they at this point they would have lose three series in a row, right?
Yes.
So this counts. You just lose 3 series in a row, and you have to play right the next days. And you don't have a team. On this precise series, it's gonna be win on the confidence, because when you don't have a huge macro and the two team is just huge fragger, when it's fragger versus fragger, the winner gonna be the teams that have the best mental and the best mindset. And when you just lose 3 series in a row and you just lose the last days, and you are the team that is in a crisis, and you are playing in a team that, yeah, they beat a bad team. Okay, this doesn't count. I will never say that, oh yeah, they are so back. No. They beat a mid team in a crisis. They are in a mid team in a crisis. But they are in a mid team in a crisis that can cope, that can believe they are not in a so big crisis, and also, as you said, started to find some solutions. So, yeah, they are in the best situation to win this series.
Okay.
I could have said it better myself.
Well, as I'm numbered, we'll go with the Paper X win, and we'll go now to the upper semifinals. Okay, let's go into Boom versus Gen G. Now,
Okay,
this is an
if we are
exciting one.
assuming that Genji beat Talon, which I don't, but if we assume that, I think Genji would have enough momentum. And let me say something. Boom, sure, 5 big booms. They've gone 5-0, but I wanna put like fraud check on them. Their first victory was against Genji, where they just debuted. What's his name? The half Russian, half Korean guy. I forgot his name. That's actually really good.
Who on Gen G's team?
Yeah.
Suggest and Ash.
Suggest, yes, they just debuted Suggest and Ash, so that's why they won. The second game against Global Esports. Global Esports is just a bad team. We knew that. Moving on, the third game against PaperX, they debuted Batman. Obviously, that's why they won that. The fourth game against DRX, they were playing with a new roster because Flashback had to drop out. That's why they won that. And the fifth game, DFM was just bad. They didn't have any confidence. They had no game plan. That's why they lost. I'm gonna put fraud watch. I want to put them on fraud watch, and I think Genji wins this game because after winning against Talon, they should have enough momentum to just carry on.
Nat, what's your opinion on this one?
What's my opinion? I'm so 50-50 on this. I'm so 50-50.
Yeah, I agree. Same.
I think Gen G does
Yeah,
have the
but you
momentum coming in, but I think Boom have looked pretty good up to this point.
Genji don't lose rematches, by the way. I made that startup, but like you can believe me.
I think
They never lost to a team 2 times in a row. That's what I wanted to say.
I'm leaning towards
See,
Boom.
don't say that.
Great.
I'm leaning towards Boom.
You know what? I want. I really want to a win for Boom. It will be so amazing for the CA scene. But yeah, when you are invested mentally into something, decision making is so much harder. I didn't watch a lot of America's game this split, but I think I have everything is just on America's. So yeah, I just don't want to bet on this one. I just want to see Boom in international event. I want to see CA team in international events, and especially I don't want Korea to take over Valorant in APAC. That will be a thing that will just kill the scene. So I want Boom to win this one, but yeah, when I want something, it usually not happen that much. So I'm gonna go Gen, but because I'm fully irrational and
Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay. We'll go RRQ DRX. Any RRQ believers?
No.
Not after that team secret win. And the Alex just they look too good after beating T1.
Yep, I fully agree. I think the RX look incredible, and RRQ, they're okay. Let's go into RRQ Talon.
Talon. I believe in Cruz. I really want them to win. Okay, even if I do, I want them to win, but I think that Talon are that team
Okay.
right now as it stands. Talon look really good.
What about you, Meg?
Wow, this is another 50-50 games.
Yeah,
Really, it's another
it is a
50-50 games.
50-50 game.
So if we are all agree, if you and me are agree it's a 50-50 games, I let Sumas pick this one.
Okay,
I'm gonna pick Talon.
yeah, let's go Talon then.
Okay, that's the Talon.
Next one is
Talon.
interesting.
Next one is quite interesting.
First, I have to say that I think if it was T1 in place of PRX, I would have picked T1 100% of time. No doubt I would have picked T1 because now they have confidence, and I just think T1 is a better team than PRX. But now, in this precise situation, against with a team that I want to see in the next international event, that just lose a game, maybe might have lose their momentum. Again, I think Boom is a better team, but maybe with a momentum question, PRX does have a chance.
Yeah. Boom were
But I'm
better
a
team.
50-50.
Unk was flashing himself and his entire team that game. They had role issues. They just tried out a new comp. Batman just debuted. It was a mess for PaperX that game, the first game against Bullies. But now, Batman is fitting into the roster. They figured out their roles. Unk is shooting back for once. I really believe in the track by track. Send them
Nats?
Me. Okay.
Yes,
For this game,
track by track. Sliggy believes in them. Track by track.
I think I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm going with Boom Esports here. I think that their player quality is incredible. I think they are a much
Yeah.
more sorted out team, and I think that even with Paper Rex's recent performances, I'm not too hyped on them. Well, Boom, they consistently looked good. You can talk about the fact that they are facing, I don't know, like a weaker version of DRX or a weaker version of Genji, but at the end of the day, they're still winning. They're 5-0 in the group. While PRX, I have not
Yeah.
seen them beat a good team. And until I see them beat
Yeah.
a good team, I don't believe in them. Therefore, I'm picking
Cloud
Boom.
9 would 5-0, no? Last
I will. You know, I think you bet on PRX because you're a Paper X fan.
I
But
am a very big Paper X fan. That is true. When
Yeah.
you guys were discussing on
Uh,
how you got into Valorant, right? I wanted to mention this. It was I think that one highlight clip from Forsaken where he just updrafts. This is split. He updrafts mid, dashes in, and just goes absolutely nuts. I saw that clip on I think Twitter. I'm like, oh, this is a fun team, Paper X, and I just followed them for a bit, and then I see TNT make a video on how they turned a Euro, an FTR agent, into one of the best picks, and I've been following them since. It's just been. I'm a big Paper X fan. I really want them to get this, and I actually believe they will. So you can put Boom
Yeah.
for now. We'll see.
I think my fear of Boom not making the event is making me forget how good they were. So yeah, Boom Esports without a doubt.
Okay. Let's go up to the
Just
qualification. Do you
yeah.
want to go straight into the qualification game first?
Yeah.
Okay. Talon or Boom?
50-50 again.
Math Material, you want to go first? I know you're quite a bit of a talent believer. Is it a switch up or you
I am a talent believer, but if at this point if Boom beats Paper X, they will have a lot of momentum. I think this is.
So you prefer PRX toward Talon. So with the power of transitivity, Boom Esports would have been beat Talon, right?
Yeah, kind of, but not. I do favor Boom in this matchup then. But can we do it 50? Can we toss a coin for it? I can't pick one. Or Meg can pick one for us.
I'm picking Boom, as
I
you
see.
know, because I'm a Boom believer. What about you,
5
Megan?
big Booms.
I would have picked Nongshim at this point because I think Nongshim would have been Talon, Nongshim would have been RRQ, and I'm really afraid of having 3 Korean team and Korea taking over Valorant, so I want to jinx them and just go to full Nongshim.
Right.
So,
That doesn't
But
help,
since
right?
yeah, that doesn't help.
Nongshim have like a
So which
Nongshim
team?
have a Paper X style. Well, actually, Talon has beaten Nongshim before, so we should put Talon ahead.
You want to put Talon ahead? Is that what we're happening?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I want to put Talon ahead.
So you bet for Talon, Nats?
No, I'm betting Boom.
Toss a coin.
Yeah, I think I think I will go Boom. Because again, my fear of them losing shouldn't make me forget that they were really good. And in fact, if I'm thinking twice, I think no team in Omega Group will beat a team in Alpha Group.
Really?
Oh, wait.
I think if one matchup you wanted where an Omega team beats Alpha Group team, I think this is it. Talon we can do. Because I think, okay, not I think, but I really believe that Talon as it stands is the best team group Omega. They had a late resurgence.
I think Talon are
They-
too inconsistent to declare them the best team of that group.
Really, I think they've improved their inconsistency by quite a bit. I think they've got more inconsistent, gotten more consistent. They're playing more solid. They're making less mistakes. Sure, I think they still have that one thing where they lose the first map and then come back. But they broke that curse against T1. And they should have won against Zeta Division. If Cruises wasn't put in that situation. And he just in practice. I think Talon could have won that game against Zeta. They would have been 4-1.
I think that's fishy. That's a fishy.
It's a-
Yeah, I'm not that big of a belief into talent, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We did predict that Group Alpha will win every game against Group Mega.
We did predict that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Genji DRX then.
DRX will not adopt. They
Any-
just beat them, so
Yeah.
no question.
That's true. Mathematio, you wanna be different? You wanna pick Genji?
I'm thinking about it, but I don't know how I would. I want to say that DRX still have that, like they would look really good. Like they would look like they could beat the best teams in the world. But I think they still have that glass ceiling that they haven't broken yet. That's the reason they got shut down in Masters Bangkok. Like that's why Vitality, they should. I think they were a better team than Vitality overall, but they still lost. Because they hadn't broken that glass ceiling. If they're able to break that glass ceiling, I definitely put them above Genji. I think they have a much higher ceiling, but against a really strong opposition like Genji, and I think in my mind, this Genji has solved most of its issues. They have a really good, a strat. They have a deep strat book. They know what they're doing on all maps, if not most of them. They have a good 7 map pool, and they would be anti-stratting DRX. I think this is a high level Genji, similar to what we saw last year in Shanghai.
I would agree with
And-
you, but for DRX, I would say that I actually favor DRX here because I think DRX, at least regionally, they did fine. I feel like the only bad loss they had was in Bangkok where they lost to T1. But even then, T1 were sort of like they were like getting really good,
For the
right?
Michael run.
Yeah, they were going on a
Yeah.
run. So
No.
I don't want to fault DRX too much, and they played a super close series against Vitality, and Vitality was still pretty good at that point in Bangkok. And they
Not-
ran. I mean, they ran off in kickoff. They went flawless. I believe they didn't lose a match.
I
No,
wouldn't say this version of the roster. Like if Flashback were in this roster right now, in place of any Estrella or Bane, doesn't matter. I think they have the highest ceiling of any team in the world. I think the ceiling is still there. I just don't think they'll be able to reach it against Genji at this stage. I think Genji wins this. I think Genji
mean-
would be too good at this stage.
I don't think Bane's at the
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not like DRX will be bad. I think they have a choking issue. I think DRX will choke this match rather than them not being good enough. I think they are good enough to beat Genji, but I think they'll choke this map. I think we need to predict at least one choke, and this is it. DRX choking against Genji.
That's
Hmm.
definite opinion. But I stay on the DRX side.
Let me think.
Another argument can be made is DRX. They've already choked once with this roster. They won't choke again. I believe that too.
DRX will choke, but it will be at the Masters.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
know what? I
I,
agree with that.
I don't think
This is a good
regionally they'll
DRX
choke.
win.
I think they're too strong regionally to choke. I think they'll choke Masters. So,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send
Yeah,
DRX through.
let's go DRX.
Genji boom.
Did I really convince you, Will? I will choke in Masters. Oh, I'm fully convinced. You are right. I will bet on this team. It's marvelous.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay.
So
I think this boom thing has gone too far. Someone needs to stop this right now. Genji, please stop them. I also think Boom don't have a good map pool. Like they have good maps, but they don't have a fully fledged map pool like Genji would at this stage. Boom. They're still playing a bit of an unorthodox comp on Ascend. If Genji switches back to the Jet, they play more standard stuff, more solid stuff. They should be favored. If it was the best of 3, again at this stage it could have been anyone's. Since it's a best of 5, I would put Genji. They've been in that situation before.
all right.
I just think Genji got it
All right.
since it's the best of 5.
So Meg, what do you think?
In fact, I will go on Boom Esport on this one because the only reason why I didn't pick Boom Esport against Genji, it's because I was too afraid they will not be able to win and to qualify. But since they are not qualified, I still don't. I don't have this fear, and I think they can beat them. And also, interesting remembering, but Boom Esports against Nongshim on the Ascension get kinda stomp on the first game, and almost beat them on an amazing BO5, maybe the best BO5 of Valorant history. So yeah, maybe they are just BO5 merchants and just win this one. I have too
That
many
was a really
arguments
good
on this
comeback
one to change
attempt.
my mind.
Like they were down what 8-4 on the half of third map. Longsham already had 2 and they somehow got that comeback. That was a really good comeback. But I still think Genji is just more experienced and more favored in a best of 5.
Mm.
That's my reasoning.
I
Because when
think
you're this deep in a tournament, both teams should be equally good. It just comes down to experience at this point, experience and practice.
I agree with that. I think that Boo are gonna face experience issue, and I think that Genji are I mean I think by this point they've improved quite a lot. I quite like Foxy9 right now. He's been playing really good, and I think that will be the big factor in the difference between Genji Boom as compared to last time. And also considering it's a BO5, I remember Hades telling me maps don't matter. Doesn't matter if doesn't matter if Boom's map pool, doesn't matter if Genji's map pool. In BO5s, maps really, which map you're good at really matters, and I'm gonna fully believe in that, and I'm gonna send it into Genji beats Boom, which means we go into a Genji DRX grand final.
You are changing your mind about the Boom Genji? You betted Boom on the first game. Oh.
I betted Boom on the first game, but if Genji's beating them in the first game, I believe Genji will beat them in the last game.
Yeah, but that's not
Listen,
true.
if
You know,
this was
you know, no. You know the curse. You know the curse that when you beat a team and you've got a rematch, you win this rematch. So
that only
you
applies to
can't
best
use
of
this
3.
argument. This is not because Genji wins the most important game that now the stakes are a little bit lower that they managed to beat Boom Esport.
I think that only applies to best of 3s.
No,
I think in a best of 5, Genji got it.
I think the biggest thing is that I feel like Genji by this point they will have fleshed out. They first of all they've won quite a bit. They have quite a bit of time to prepare for this game, and I think that Genji they have yeah they have a good core. I feel like they can improve for this game. I feel like Boom. I feel like this is the best we'll ever see them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Boom somehow break their glass ceiling and go even further, but I just have more faith in Genji at this lower final. If we had predicted Boom to win before, I would have probably predicted Boom, because I think then Boom,
go.
Because then I think that everything else I said would have applied to Boom instead. I think they would have more confidence. They would have had a lot more time to prep. But yeah.
But you know, I just didn't pick Boom just because I wanted to jinx Genji, right?
But like we've already sent Genji through. It's too late.
Yeah,
but
at this point, they're gonna take their foot off the pedal. They're gonna relax a bit. They're gonna
I think you don't have more prep when you. I even think when you're coming from grand final, you for the upper final, you have one test less to prepare, and you just lose, while Boom just win. So I think the two arguments you have used is in fact in favor of Boom Esport. Boom Esport, I will check it. Because no they play the same day. No, they play the same day. Sorry, so they play the same day, so they don't have more time to prep.
Oh,
It's equal, and Boom just win, while Genji just lose. So the momentum is for Boom Esport.
Let me think about it. Wait, I didn't realize Genji don't get more prep. Wait. Fuck. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Genji is warmer, no? Genji is still warm. They lost to DRX, then they're gonna take it to heart. Like how we losing to another coaching team, we won a championship. They have it.
You know what?
The Masters, and
I believe in Genji's core. I think they're super experienced. I think the experience will carry them through. I'm sending Genji.
Okay, well played. I did my best on this. You win this one, Math.
I'll take you. This is never gonna happen. I'm picking the horribly wrong.
Okay, DRX versus Gen G. For my side, I only have one answer, and that is a DRX clean sweep into the grand finals. They win 3-1.
All the arguments you used against Boom Esport doesn't count against the DRX? The fact they improve,
listen,
they
I
are
think-
better, they are a great core, and no,
I
not
think-
enough to beat
No,
DRX.
but the thing is with
Yeah.
Boom, I think Boom will cap at their ceiling right now. I think Boom, this will be the best Boom we'll see this year. For DRX, they're bringing in a Shredder, they're bringing in a new player, they're bringing in a new IGL system. We know Marco has more chance to improve to get better at fragging, right? Because he's always been a good fragger now before, and now he's slowly adapted to it. We've seen that DRX have consistently beaten Gen G. We've also have the fact that DRX, I feel like the quality of players are even higher than Gen G. Yeah, so, and I think the macro just look insane. I'm just a huge fan of DRX right now. They look super good. So that's why I'm favoring DRX over Gen G.
Okay. Math?
I have not. Here's what I think. When you're especially in grand finals, right? We saw this in kickoff against Sentinels and G2. G2 were a better team overall, but they still, Sentinels still made it close against G2. And I think something similar will happen here. DRX would look like the best team overall, but Gen G will still make it close. It's a 55-45, but I'll go DRX.
Okay, well, I'm okay to go to DRX too. So to me, I'm quite surprised that Gen G is going to the international event. I don't think they're that good, but maybe you are just right, and I'm copying on Gen G. So yeah, DRX. Question.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think are the percent of chance for each team to qualify to the main event? For example, DRX, I would say it's almost 100.
DRX, okay. So DRX, I give a
No, they
95.
gotta buy, right?
Huh?
No, they gotta buy. DRX, they're the number one. If it's the same format as Shanghai, DRX gotta buy into the playoffs, right?
We're talking about qualification, right? For Bangkok? I'm not for.
Yeah,
for
percent of
Toronto.
chance to qualify for Toronto.
Okay, let me go over my percentages. I think DRX have a 95% chance. Then I would give.
I think that's how percentages work here. Like you'll have to do some weird math to actually figure out the exact percentages.
Yeah, but like it's just like
Yeah,
it's like in
digress.
general. But yeah.
but-
So DRX, I would give a 95% chance. I would give Boom and Gen G both a 60% chance. I give T1
Okay.
T1. I give a 40% chance. And then for the rest of the groups, I give them like I give Talon and RQ a 15% chance, and I give PRX and Nongshin a 5% chance.
5%. That's
Okay.
it. This man is a hater, man. Come on, that has to be personal.
I just don't think PRX.
I
are
can
good.
agree.
And
I
that's
can
fair.
agree.
Steve, they're not gonna win anything. Watch. Uncle's watch. Forsaken is doing everything he can. Jing is a one-trick version. It's
Oh,
over.
I know.
Something is bad when you
I know. I'm gonna see the happiest fan alive if PRX qualify.
if PRX qualify. Oh my
To be
God.
fair, to be fair, I think I will give 10% for Nongshim and 10% for the PRX,
Hey, you know, we can do
95
that.
for DRX, and makes every the other one equal in terms of percent of chance.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Math?
I don't have percentages, but I think it's what we've predicted is going to be completely wrong. I think it's going to be some weird mixture of teams like Talon, RRQ, and Nongshim for no reason.
Okay.
I think we can go terribly wrong with these pick'ems. So again, no reason. Facebook is just random. Anything goes.
Okay. That's fair.
And this is good for the last segment, the coin, because I think if we are all agreed that all this bracket is a coin flip, then it's a perfect moment to ask the coin.
It is the perfect moment to ask the coin. Let me just pull up another.
And you know me, I'm the great pretress of the coin, and I will.
You are.
And on this one, I'm gonna be fully enlightened by the coin because for Americas I had some pretty strong ideas, but on this one I'm ready. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, okay. This is the random flip. Okay, let's go Talon versus Gen G. Let me make this bigger.
Yeah.
Did you take a screenshot?
I have it
Take a
open in.
screenshot. Post it in general.
I have it open in another tab.
Okay. You can post it in general. Okay.
But let's go.
Heads is for the top team. Tails is for the bottom. Team.
Yes. We have heads, meaning Talon go through. This is mass material
Yeah.
dream right there.
That's it.
Let's go.
They don't go through yet.
Yeah, DRX versus T1.
Yeah. This one could be the really
They are it.
fraudulent. I could lose my face.
And we
Oh,
have
no.
T1 go
It was
through.
heads. Hey, wasn't that heads? By
Uh,
flipping?
Tails.
Oh no, it's tails. I'm done.
Okay.
Maybe the coin knows ball.
The coin.
The coin believe. To be fair, this one is okay. It's an okay prediction because T1 is still the winner of the last master. So you can say that the winner of the last master will win this one.
Yeah.
This is not as fraudulent as I believe.
Let's go.
Genji Nongshin.
Genji Nongshin. And we have Genji going through. Nongshin out. First one eliminated. Let's go with the coin again. PRX versus DRX. Normally a spot for the number one. Now facing elimination. And DRX go through.
Rigged. This is rigged.
This is rigged.
To be fair, with the passive, no, it's okay. With the first place passive, I would be a little bit afraid even for DRX. Boomisport versus Talon.
Boomisport
Okay.
versus Talon. And have we lost it?
This one is. I'm a fool. This one is really. I can't flip again. So yeah, Talon. Great. The coin has talk. Is Talon.
RQ versus T1. Masters Bangkok or the group winner? And the group winner wins. RQ and Talon qualify. This is completely opposite to our lists. Now we have T1 versus Gen G, which should give us Tails. Gen G qualify. T1 eliminated. I think that's a reasonable bet. DRX versus...
That's a reasonable bet, yeah.
DRX versus Boomisport, and DRX goes through.
It's not that fraudulent for the moment.
Not that bad, yeah. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that fraudulent.
It looks better than us. Like I won't even lie. Like, this seems more realistic for no reason.
Okay, Gen G versus DRX now. The one for qualification into Toronto. In 3, 2, 1. Tails, which means DRX go through over Gen G. Wow.
It's pretty decent.
Now,
And you know, Boomisport is not gonna go, so my fear is fully full.
Now, Talon versus RQ. This is the 1-2 grand finals, an important one, I would say. And it is Talon right into the grand finals, flying right through. Mathetil's already celebrating.
I'm not celebrating more for paper X. DRX RQ.
DRX RQ. This is the one where RQ go ahead. DRX eliminated. I mean, not eliminated.
Talon winning would be so fraudulent.
No Korea.
If DRX. Oh.
Coin is not a Korean belief.
No. This one is. Yeah, no. I disagree with the coin, but again, the coin gonna make me wrong. So
you can't say anything against the coin. It has spoken.
Yeah,
you're right.
Coin has spoken.
Yeah, the coin has spoken.
And for the number one seed, the seed that will go straight into Toronto playoffs, we have an RQ win, beating out Talon's flawless run. Oh my gosh, absolute cinema. RQ go to international as the first seed.
To be fair, replace T1 by ARQ and the bracket is decent.
You know what, I agree with you. I think that's the best possible bracket that we can get.
I agree with that too. I mean, you look at T1s like you think, oh my gosh, they back into their tournament performance. They're all up. They're all shooting. Hierarchy is an interesting one, but this is our two brackets. This is the coin. This is
Right, screenshots.
this is us. I will be taking a screenshot, and then yeah.
Does that mean I can go to sleep?
I guess it
It
does.
does mean you can go to sleep.
Amazing!
Oh, I wanted
It's
to one
7
more
AM.
but like
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fine.
7 AM.
Actually, just wanted to ask real quick if you guys were like what your best player for each road was during stage one from this region.
What-
Like if I were to ask you who was the best duelist in stage one Pacific, who would you answer?
The best duelist?
Yeah,
Um.
open the start space. That would make it easier.
Yeah. Let's go to stats. I think. I mean, I have to vote Hyungmin. I think I've been liking DRX. I've been liking Kelman. I think he's improving himself as a player.
I'm not about Jemkin, but I can agree with Hunter. Hunter looking incredible.
Yeah. Jemkin's a fair pick. Yeah. What about you,
It's
Megan?
interesting. It's
Controller?
I really want to say that it's really interesting to see that there are no duelists in the top 4.
It's all controllers. Jinx somehow sneaked in top 4.
So maybe I don't want to glaze a duelist on this one and just say thanks to the worker in the shadows, try to make their duelist shine, but manage to shine better even if they are playing sentinels or smoker. And maybe that should go to Dust9 that managed to make Boom Esport a team that barely make Ascension into an amazing team that just wins the group and being undefeated on the most competitive group on the two. So yeah, I should glaze Dust9 on this one and say fuck you to the duelist always trying to take the light and say, oh, you are the best. No, I am the best. No. The real
I'm
best
gonna
is your smoker.
I'm gonna speed on this real quick. Hunter was the best duelist. Dawson was the best controller. NB was definitely the best flex player. I don't think anyone can disagree. Despite his team being 1-4, I think he was the best flex player. NC Stashu for me was the best initiator. More than Pushy, because he actually, played like an initiator, not just kill people with his aim. Which he did to unlike Pushy. Like Pushy, but and the best sentinel, I don't want to put Foxy and that was didn't play the France. But I don't see any like I could put Margaret, but he had one good game. Like he played decent in his other games, but
For me, I'll go Hyungmin as my duelist. For initiator, I would go with who would I go for my initiator? Let's go with my sentinel. My sentinel, I actually go with Berserk X. I think I super underrated him before coming into this, and he played super well. For my controller, I'd be giving that to Dawson 9. I mean, he was just incredible. Completely changed Boom Sports as a team. As a flex, I think Envy is a very fair pick. He's absolutely carrying Team Secret, pretty much the only good player I would say on that team. And for my initiator, as I'm searching for a good initiator, you know what? Bane. I'll put Bane up there.
Bane.
Bane. Bane, I think he came in.
Yeah.
He came in for DRX on a tough moments where Flashback didn't want to play. He had a scrim out. He comes out. He has a rough start, and then he goes in against Genji, a big team, and he frags out. He wins. He does quite well in that match, and so therefore, I'm putting Bane as my initiator.
Okay, so I will go.
Yes.
I will go Crystal as an IGL and
IGL, right? I think it was the other guy IGL. Kelly S. Kelly S was IGL for the first half, and then Crystal started IGL.
Really?
And it was in a really hard team, so this doesn't help. I just wanted to troll and pick 5 Russian player, but it's not possible. 5 CIS player, but not possible. There are only 3. So the joke is a little bit dead. But to be more serious,
Bukishu is a non-rated Pacific player because why not?
yeah. So yeah, Dust9 as a controller, Margaret as a sentinel because I I really like his playstyle.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go Crystal in Initiator because he was in a hard team, and being good in a hard team is really hard to do. So I just have to pick a flex and a duelist.
Let's you have
As
to
a
go.
duelist, I will go Jemkins in a duelist. I go on my bet and go on the Russian team. So Jemkins. And as a flex, does Jing count?
Jing.
does.
No, I
Yeah.
need a real scrambler. I need someone that main flash or main viper.
I mean, he played
And
3 roles. That would just leave Envy in the first spot, and then you'll have Ivy in the second spot, and then you'll keep going down. You'll have Ivy, you'll have Killua, not Killua, you'll have Munchkin.
yeah. But with the best vice merchant in the league.
The best vice merchant. I think
Definitely, you know. Foxy 9 actually. but
you'd
he plays
probably
good.
argue Foxy 9.
Yeah, but I already picked Margaret. I can't pick Margaret.
Go Envy, call it a day. Give my boy something.
Give me something.
It's going to be wonderful.
I mean, not bad. He's a 1.5 rating on Vice, 1.81 on Breach. Is 1.22. I think you're fair. But
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm a huge glazer of double sentinel composition. So I will pick a second double controller composition. So I will pick a second controller, and I will go Caron
Caron.
and I cheat. Yeah.
Yes, my favorite flex player. Let's go. You know what? You can make Cal in the controller, and you can make Dawson in the flex player because he played a high suit that one game.
That's true. Those 9 can be your flex player with the Viper and the not even Viper. It's just ISO.
I'm a huge troll. I already pick Margaret that can also play Viper. So my team doesn't have of any sense.
No triple controller.
Triple controller of FPX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hardware open.
I think we're pretty much done now. Let's turn it
Yeah.
back to normalcy. Okay, everyone, thank you for listening to VLR. Are you listening? I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was very fun to make. Thank you for my guests for being here, and also for Foul and Hades for joining on for the earlier parts. Yeah.
That's all today. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for hosting this. Despite you being late,
Yeah, no
somehow
problem.
managed to make it work.